whoever has the rights to Radiation Island, I would like to pitch you this. Let me make sure this goes out viral. I would like to adapt this into a movie, and I would like to star in it. However, I don't want to direct it if I'm starring in it. It's like Into the Wild and
Double
all her.
duty, yeah, it's a little intense then, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We'll figure out who the director is, but let's make this movie. I'm down.
Let's do it. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. My name is Talal, and you're listening to the Popcorn and Soda Podcast, the show where we discuss all things movies, pop culture, and so much more. I want to thank each and every one of you for making me a small part of your day. On today's show, we're joined by a very special guest. You know her from projects such as the CW's Arrowverse and Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and she can now be seen in the film Agent Game, which is playing in select theaters and available on VOD. On the show today, the very talented Katie Cassidy. How are you, Katie?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, thank you so much for coming to hang out on the show today. Truly appreciate it. And I think it's just so fitting that as we slowly start to return to this new normal we're living in, that you come back with a bang with another badass role as Miller in Agent Game. I love it. And this movie is such a love letter. The classic throwback action films tied in with like James Bondish vibes, twists and turns. You're not any strangers to playing these kinds of like amazing, powerful female roles. So what is it about this character that attracted you to this part?
Um, well, I think initially after reading the script and then rereading it and then rereading it, I had to read it a few times, which is good because you kind of start piecing it together. And I liked that I have a gamer, like I grew up playing video games, and I used to build and break down computers because my dad, he's an ER doctor, and probably, I was probably bugging him when I was like 8 or 9 to hang out with him, and he had to do charts or something. And I don't remember, he was like, break down that computer and build it back up. So I did. And, we kind of bonded over technology and stuff. And this character is definitely sort of the brains behind the Miller character in Agent Game, is the brains behind the operation. And she's a technology, she's wicked smart. She's like a genius when it comes to technology, and she's very observant. Antenna's always up. And I don't know, I liked the fact that I guess that side of me, the gamer side, I'm happy to talk. I mean, I'm an open book, really. I just need to be asked. But yeah, I mean, I loved bringing that to playing a character who's involved with, technology, and like can figure out what the hell's going on. But I also gave her this sort of like habit, because I think there's a lot going on in her head constantly, and she needs constant distraction, which is why, I don't know if you remember seeing it, like I gave her a habit of like fingers, like I don't know if it's because like I imagine she was always on her computer. I don't know. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, and you know what I love is that this cast is just so stacked. And like as a creative, how much easier does your job become when you're working alongside with like Jason Isaacs, Mel Gibson, Dermot,
Oh, it
just to
was
name a few?
amazing. Oh my gosh. And everyone was great. Like Dermot, I mean, everyone was great. I knew Annie from Annie actually was on Arrow for a little bit. I've known her for a very long time. I love her to death. Um, Grant Johnson was a great director. Tyler, great producer. And Mel and Dermot and James, like they were just fantastic. And I think, and Jason Isaacs, I think, Dermot, I spent most of Dermot and Aiden and Reese, obviously, I spent most of my time with, and we all became really tight friends. Dermot is so cool. I'm like, you do realize that I had a huge crush on you in my best friend's wedding, right? Like back in the day. No, Julia Roberts, Cameron Diaz, Dermot. Anyways, he totally nice guy, hilarious, and it was just cool. It was great working with like pros.
Yeah, and then you know what I find interesting is that you guys shot this film like during the pandemic, and like I've spoken to creatives that have had different experiences while coming back to set and shooting again. So what was your personal experience? Like, was it like shooting like in these intense guidelines and restrictions? Did it feel
Yeah.
constricting? did it take a little bit to like get back into the groove of things? How did you
It
find the whole
still
process?
feels weird. It's not even just
Oh yeah.
shooting. Getting back to normal day life, you know, I I live in Los Angeles, born and raised, right? So like we were in lockdown for a very long time, and like again, like I'm already like a germaphobe in general, but like when this happened, talk about hermiting and like I was like, I am not risking anything. So
Yeah.
now even like, going to a grocery store, I'm like, it's a little like, like someone's like close. I'm like, don't,
I know. It's that
I don't
odd
know.
thing where it's
I'm
like
like,
you're not trying to be rude to anyone, but at the same time
no,
you're like, it's like, oh,
I know. And I always say like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but can you put your, like, if I'm getting in an Uber or something, can you put your mask on? Like, it's not personal to you. I just can't get COVID because also I'm directing a movie and I'm also going into a different country to do it. So I can't get
yeah.
COVID.
I know.
Uh, but yeah, it was really tough when we were on set. We were testing every day. Someone actually got in, there's different zones that they separated people in. So actors couldn't come into contact with everyone because we had to be masks off when we're
Yeah.
rolling on. Someone actually got COVID. And so like I flipped out, and that was the day there was like my close up on the
Oh, jeez.
plane when there's a draw with
Yeah,
Mike
yeah.
Hayden, and I say, well, I don't know, someone's fucking with this mission, and I'm pointing the gun at him. That I said that I was like, look, I'm never like this, but I think it's first and foremost like we need to be safe and careful, and I'm really worried about getting on this plane because someone tested positive in a different zone, but they were like, we don't know. It was like during the time we didn't know how this thing was
Yeah.
transmitted, but like definitely through air. So I was like, windows open, but also I was like, if I don't need to be in the plane off camera, like please don't make me. If that's okay. If another actor needs me, I will be there 1,000%. But you know, is I think fewer people on this plane, the better. And so I
Yeah.
kind of only had like one take. But the good news is Grant was really, really understanding, and they were very safe and they assured me everything was going to be fine. And so they just sort of kept the camera rolling. So that day, it was the last day of the plane too. So it was like, we didn't get that, we'd already shot all this other stuff. It's like, so I went on and sucked it up and, took one for the team. We all did. But he just kept the camera rolling. And so I got to go 2 or 3 times, which is actually great because as an actor, it gets you in, at least me, it gets me into it more. It allows me to
Yeah.
just sit in it. And the more I can, like when a director cuts and and it breaks up the set, it's like, as an actor, that can be tough. So it almost was like it helped in a way because I think it led to the tension and the suspense.
Yeah, it's like one of those like it's like another character almost that like the unwritten character that no one really knows what the actors and the crew are kind of facing, and it's so like crazy how like you can't even tell that this movie was made during a pandemic. Like if you think about it, it's like it looks like a normal movie in every sense of the way, and I totally get the entire you living in LA. Like I'm here in Toronto, and we had like the craziest lockdown in like all of Canada, where it's like I think just like 2 weeks ago we can finally like not have masks on, but like of course everyone's still really wearing them. So I totally get it, where it's just like it's gonna take a while for people to try to get back to what a normal is or what a new normal really looks like, right?
Yeah, I don't know if like, I mean, I can tell you this, I'm never gonna fly again without wearing a mask or like go in public. Like I don't, I just,
Oh yeah.
uh,
No, I hear you. And it's like you think about all those little things. It's like going to the mall and just like, just like not sanitizing your hands. Like now you look back at all the crazy times are just
holy
like,
shit, yeah.
dude,
And think about how
it's,
many,
it's whack.
it's crazy. You think about how many, well, what's good about it though, also, but you think about going to airports, okay? I was walking on a
Oh,
tarmac or like on the hallway onto the plane, whatever that thing is called. And during the pandemic, and I think I had gloves on and a mask and like, like I was just like not, being all weird. Didn't mean to be weird, but I was. Um, and I looked down and there was this woman and her hand was on the hand railing, and then my brain went, oh my God, oh my gosh. Do we even know how many people they've never probably cleaned that hand railing
oh,
ever?
never.
And
Never.
but during the pandemic, everyone got their shit clean. So now
Yeah,
at least we can know there's clean surfaces because before
that's
that's
true.
disgusting.
Oh, absolutely. Just think
Like
about it, like the
tables
door
at
handles you touch,
restaurants,
like poof.
and
The
you're
public
eating,
washrooms are
and
bad
you're like
enough as it is. Tell me about it.
germs,
Tell me
like
about
oh
it.
la la. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, one thing I just love about the movie is just that I'm glad that there's movies like Agent Game that are kind of, coming back. And whether it's on the big screen or people watching it at home, it's now playing. So do go check this out. Shifting gears to another segment within the entertainment industry. And that's one thing I really admire about you, Katie, is that you're unapologetically, like, you embrace your space within popular culture. Whether it's your role as Black Canary on Arrow or your love of video games. I think it's so rad that like you're equally a fan of all of this as much as people are a fan of your work.
mm,
So now I gotta ask the heavy duty questions, Katie, because that's what we do on this show. Time to put on my serious face, and in honor of
bring
action
it.
and combat, of Agent Game and Arrow, Katie Cassidy, what is your favorite fighting game and why is it Mortal Kombat?
Because the Thumb Blaster, it's Sub-Zero's fatality, is the
Hells
best.
yeah. Hells yeah.
Finish him. That was my favorite go-to. But also, I could play. I played growing up with my sister. She was always Scorpion, and I was Sub-Zero. So I would ice her. She would shoot an arrow at me.
Yeah,
Ironically,
like get over here, that little thing that was,
yeah.
yeah,
Come
something
here.
about those games, something about these games that just the new games.
Call of
Like I'm a
Duty.
gamer as
Love
well. Call of Duty. Hey, I keep read anywhere I see Katie Cassidy Call of Duty, and I've seen on your Instagram as well that you go on your Call of Duty binges, eh? Like that is that your favorite go-to game right now?
I think. Well, I've always loved Call of Duty, but I also love. I think it's just a matter of it being first-person. I don't know, shooter games. Like I like. Uh, I love growing up like 007 GoldenEye.
Oh yeah, classic,
Yes, amazing.
classic. N64.
Um,
Oof.
yes. I play actually Radiation Island. I don't know if you've heard about it. I got it from the App Store. I found it during
Okay.
Arrow. I call it brain breaks. So during setups and like, look, it's a
Yeah.
lot. We have downtime, and again, like I'm a little strange when I'm shooting. I like to sort of not be as social with anyone. I like to sort of just keep to myself. If it's a comedy, that's a whole other thing. But Arrow was no comedy, and my character was
Yeah.
not funny. She was tragic and then awesome.
Of course.
But I download this game. You should totally check it out if you like first person shooter games. But there's also this
Okay, right
element
on.
where you can build your own weapons, and you have to feed yourself, and you have to find, like, it's an open world, and you find these huts, and like you have to sleep, and you can build a house, you can build a bed, but you're also up against like wildlife and aliens and
All sorts of
weird
cool shit.
universe shit. Yeah, it's called Radiation
Yeah.
Island. It's the best game ever. So in between takes, I would literally like lock into my computer, and I just play on my trackpad with my keyboard, the
Mm.
WASD. Uh, and in between takes, like John Barrowman would see me, and I would be looking at my computer, and I'd be like, oh, shit. Like I would literally, like, I get very animated because I get so into
Yeah.
it. And he was like, "What are you doing on your computer?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm killing aliens, and I'm
Just let me
exploring
be.
islands.
Let me be.
Hello,
Yeah.
yeah. You ever Radiation Island? I don't think so."
Right. I think
So yeah,
it's
that's
yeah.
I could say that I play called. Just love playing games. When I
Yeah.
have the time, it's a good brain break.
Oh, definitely. And it's interesting because we're entering this point in the industry where like for the longest time it was all about adapting the hot new book that just came out into a film. But now it's kind of like shifting towards video games with like Uncharted, The Last of Us TV shows coming out, Mortal
Uncharted is so
Kombat.
good.
Yeah, honestly, it's like video games are becoming like the new like I don't want to say superhero movies, but in many ways it's kind of like the new hot thing where everyone's just trying to adapt these games. So, besides COD, what's the one video game you feel needs to be adapted for the big screen?
Well, good. I think the sequel. I don't remember. Isn't there a sequel to Uncharted? It's a female.
Yeah, there's like three or four of them. I think there's like they did the Drake,
There needs to be a
Nathan Drake.
female Uncharted, and they need to cast me.
All right, let's get the hashtag going. Female Uncharted cast Katie
Hashtag
Cassidy
female
hashtag.
for KC. I don't care. Hashtag
Once again,
female Uncharted. Katie Cassidy or KC. Yeah,
yeah,
Uncharted
let's
would
do
be
it.
dope. Well, Radiation Island would be really dope if a girl did it. Oh my gosh, me on an island building weapons, going against like live animals and like weird monsters.
Mind
Let's do
blown.
that. Whoever has the rights to Radiation Island, I would like to pitch you this. Let me make sure this goes out viral. I would like to adapt this into a movie, and I would like to star in it. However, I don't want to direct it if I'm starring in it. It's like Into the Wild and
Double
all her.
duty, yeah, it's a little intense then, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. We'll figure out who the director is, but let's make this movie. I'm down.
All right, Radiation Island, the
Yeah,
app
you gotta play the
developers or
game.
whoever has the movie rights, let's do
Yeah,
it.
I know. I'm like, here, I'm promoting this game for them. You're welcome.
Yeah, you should get some back end points on that for sure.
Just
Awesome.
saying.
Just saying. So, I want to kind of circle back to Arrow and the superhero universe. As someone who's been part of like one of the biggest adaptations of the last decade, what do you feel is like the state of the genre, like on the big screen and the small? Because there's all sorts of new Marvel movies coming out, and they just knock it out of the park.
Right.
Arrowverse is
Are
still
you ready
doing its
for this? You're
thing.
not gonna love
Let's hear
this.
it. Let's hear it. Let's
Not
hear
gonna
it.
love it. It's enough already. We've really, really played the superhero card for a long time. Right after vampires. First it was vampires, not superheroes, which I love. Obviously, I played one. I also love vampires too, but like, well, let's just like do something new. Let's reinvent the wheel is sort of my take on it. Or let's just be original. And I just, not that we can't keep having these characters, but there's something to say about like original story and maybe new superheroes that we don't know. You know what I mean? Like instead of continuously recycling the same story, like I don't know. I'm directing this movie, Daddy Issues. It's a raunchy comedy, and it's 3 female leads in their 30s trying to learn how to grow the fuck up, but can't due to their dysfunctional relationships that they had growing up with their fathers. It's one of the funniest scripts I've ever read, and I'm so excited to direct it. And
Right on.
I feel like this sort of like the 90s, going back to like a throwback, like this movie reminds me, it's so funny. It reminds me of like The Sweetest Thing, which was Cameron Diaz, Selma Blair, and Christina Applegate. It was hilarious. And so it's like, again, like sort of nostalgia to the 90s, pre craziness of the world and all of it. But yeah, this movie, Daddy Issues, feels a lot like that. And obviously I can relate. I have 3 dads, so I have daddy issues.
Well, when can we expect to see Daddy Issue come out or even start production?
We have not. We're starting production this year, August.
Right
4 weeks in Australia and 1 week here in Los Angeles.
Awesome. Daddy Issues, guys. Check out Katie Cassidy's social media for more information on Daddy Issues. All right, Katie, as you wrap up, it's now time for a segment I call the final act. I'm going to ask you 10 rapid fire questions about your likes and your dislikes. I just want the first thing that comes to your mind. No thinking, just blurt it out. But here's the catch. I'm going to give you 1 minute to try to get through all 10. You up for it?
Yeah.
Theater or watch at home?
Home.
Favorite movie?
Shit.
You can pass if you want. All right. Favorite TV show?
Homeland.
Favorite workout?
Anything with Peter Lee Thomas.
All right. Favorite character besides yourself on Arrow?
Favorite character what?
Besides yourself on Arrow.
Nissa.
Favorite all-time video game?
Call of Duty.
Katie Cassidy. All right.
It's a time.
Favorite video game movie?
I haven't seen a lot of them.
All right. Summer or fall?
James Bond, GoldenEye 007, because if you revert, okay, fine.
We'll take it. Summer or fall?
Summer.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Lastly, describe Agent Game in 1 word.
Fucking dope. 2 words.
Bam. We'll take it. Katie, you killed it at that. I'll let the minutes slide a little, but you know what? I'm thankful for your time. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show today. You absolutely crushed it in Agent Game, and I can't just wait to see what's next for you. Next time we're doing this, I'm bringing the PlayStation, and we're going to go a couple rounds on time.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Good stuff. Katie Cassidy, everyone.